And here is the overview. Only 4 sections. Let's get right to it. Section right down the center. And we're going to take it right past the top of the head on the round of the head and bring it to behind the ear on each side. And we're going to separate the sides. So there's 2 sections already. Only 2 more to go. We are going to take it right down the center. And we're going to basically separate the back in half horizontally. So you got the top and the bottom of the back. And we're going to start right at that nape area. We're going to cut short to long. See that curvature type shape we're trying to get here? Very shag-like. We're going to take a central vertical section. We're going to do some gravity layering. And just going to continue to move the shears and cut short to long. And we're going to bring our next section, which is vertical sections, over direct them back to the center guide. And you will see your guide right there. And you're going to connect. Continue moving your scissors constantly. And this is called gravity layering. It's a fast way to remove weight from short to long. We're going to bring everything to the center here and continue to cut short to long using our stationary guide. Last section, over direct the whole thing over to the center and continue. Repeat the same thing on the opposite side, vertical sections, and this time we're going to over direct towards the opposite side, which is the center, and do some gravity layering. Vertical sections, over directing the center, find your guide, and cut short to long. We're going to continue the same application throughout this entire zone. Again, we're just removing a ton of weight off the center back while still maintaining length. Okay, zone 2, from the nape to the crown. Vertical sections again. So we are just going to take this zone 2, we're going to comb it right into zone 1. We're going to grab, this is the shape we're looking for. Ton of movement. We're going to take a central vertical section. Comb it straight out from where the head lives, and you will definitely see your guide right there. Now we're going to take that just a little past that guide and start a new guide for the entire top zone here. And this will take us right through that top there. You can see that curved type of cutting line. And we're going to over direct that to the previous very round cutting line. Make sure you see your guide clearly. And you can see we're moving through that section and rounding it at the top. Vertical section, over direct to the previous, and continue this round cutting line, and again move through the entire section. Once we get to the round of the head, we're going to over direct everything to the center and continue with our round cutting line. Last section, over directing everything to the center. This will maintain a little more length behind the ear, and there's just a little more left to cut. Perfect. Once we do that side, we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Central vertical sections, over direct to the previous, and just follow your guide. Walk through and cut a round cutting line. Over directing to the previous, again, just make sure you take your time, you follow your guide, and you walk through the entire curvature of that cutting line. And again, once we get to the round of the head, we're going to push that more towards the center to maintain length behind the ear. And just a little more left to cut, and we have the entire back section complete. And there it is right there. All right. Now we can comb everything into it so you can see the nice shape that we created. We removed a ton of weight off that center back and created a beautiful silhouette. Check for balance. And once you are set, we are going into the top zone and the sides. There's a nice little chart. Okay, we're going to use that back section where we just left off. We're going to take a horizontal section and we're going to comb that right into the top and sides, right in the front. So now that whole section has a guide already. And we're going to use our clip and just separate the back from the top now. We're going to use pivot point cutting. Everything is coming from one point. And that point is where we left off. It's right at the crown. So we're going to start with the central vertical section. And we're going to find our guide. Where's the guide? Right there at the crown. And we're going to follow the curvature of the head. It's going to be a round cutting line all the way through to the hairline. And again, if you wanted to do a longer version of this shag, you could repeat the exact same process. Just start with everything longer. And make sure your guides are left longer as well. We did a little more of a shorter shag here. So once we have our guide established, we're going to take our Barracuda comb clip. We're going to slide that on the opposite side so we know we are not going to pass that. These are going to be pivot sections, over directed to the previous. We're going to take our first pie section, over direct that to the center. Make sure you don't go past your clip. And we're going to cut this round cutting line. We're going to follow the contour overhead. Now we're going to take our next pivot section and repeat the same exact process. There's the guide. And just follow your guide and you'll have very precise cutting. Consistent results every time. Pie section. And once we get past the recession, we're going to over direct everything up to our first guide to maintain length on the sides. So everything is going right to the center, and we're going to continue following the contour of the head, walking right through the hairline, cutting that round line. Last section on this side, everything's getting over directed up. Again, this maintains length. And you can see everything blends in beautifully. Same thing on the opposite side. We're just going to take our Barracuda comb clip and we are going to put it on the opposite side that we just cut. This will give us reference not to go past our clip. Perfect. And again, pie sections, pivoting sections, starting from our pivot point section at that top of the crown. We're going to over direct everything to the center. And you're going to see your guide very clearly here. You're going to continue cutting a round cutting line, following the contour of the head. And again, if you follow these pivot sections and really stay focused on how far you over direct, you're going to get consistent, beautiful results every single time. Let's make sure we don't go past that guide. And that Barracuda comb clip is just a great way to reference, okay, let's not go past this part here. Again, once we get past the parietal ridge, we're going to over direct everything to the center guide, and just don't go past your clip, and you'll maintain consistent, even results every single time. over directing everything to the center now. And what does this do? Yep, this maintains length throughout the sides, but still giving you those beautiful layers all throughout the top and crown area, which really make it a true shag. Now let's comb everything there. So we already formed some type of fringe already just by doing our layering on the top. But now we're going to dive right into our fringe diagonal sections. We're going to first find the depth of our fringe, take a center section, let's use a comb, and we'll take it from that high point of the fringe all the way to the corner of each eye, and again use our comb clips to help get clean, tight separation every single time. Perfect, so now we have our fringe zone ready to go. We're going to take diagonal sections. We're going to first take a little triangle section from each side, diagonal from each side. We'll make one triangle section. I'm going to twist, decide where I want it. I'm just taking little C-sections of cutting. Very natural feel, organic feel. Find out where you want it. So I did mine right pretty much past the eyebrows. And then we're going to continue with these angled sections, over directing everything to the center nose and just pinching it. And we're going to just whittle our way through from our guide to the length. This is going to maintain length on the sides and have your shortest area in the very middle. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Again, you could have kept a longer fringe on this if you wanted to. I just wanted to show a really nice way to create a very lived-in, organic fringe that I think goes very well with this shaggy type of haircut feel. And there you go. Beautiful results. Okay, let's use a little bit of my favorite smooth control and a little bit of volume. We're going to use Top Whip by Goldwell. Love this stuff. And we're just going to use our comb and neatly comb in the mousse exactly where we want it. No waste and no overuse. We're going to use a little Denman brush, and we're going to just start drying that fringe a little bit. I always like to start with the fringe so it doesn't dry funky. And then we're going to do a little wrap drying. And now it's time to detail our fringe. I just took a horizontal section, and you could see that V that we have here. And now I'm just taking deep point cutting and removing weight wherever I feel like this needs it. This is customizing. This is fine-tuning your cut, fine-tuning the fringe. And there you go, everybody. Little channel cutting, again fine-tuning. This is where you customize your cut. Go through the entire cut, wherever you need to remove weight or just craft it the way you want to. Very important after it's dry to really just dive in and detail your cut. Okay, now we're going to use a little bit of my favorite dry boost spray, Goldwell's Creative Texture Line, and a little Super Ego pomade. This is where I just detail it, show the texture of the cut, break up the fringe a little bit. You can see all the movement, very Shag-like feel, true Shag-like feel. And again, you could take this haircut and do the same exact process, but leave everything longer as well. Well, I hope you guys love the modern Shag.